when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For such people, the Father seeks to be his worshipers. Can you tell the difference between the two? Talk back to me. Can you tell the difference between the two? He said, these people worship me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. And then he says over here, I'm looking for those who go past lip service. You notice what he said? Who will worship me in spirit and in truth? And he said, who must, then he said, God is spirit. And those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Can you see there are two different types? I'm really asking. I'm not talking to myself. I'm really asking. Can you see there are two different types? Lips, heart. Lips, heart. Who knows the difference? God does. He said, these people are saying the right things, but their hearts are far from me. He said their hearts are far from me. So our time today is going to be spent on breaking down what worship, what it is, and what we're not doing. We just found out that there's true worship and there's false worship. It's just like those knockoffs. You know those knockoffs we said? Oh, this got to be right. It looks so right. And a lot of times, the other thing that they may do, Brother Levance, when they want to sell jewelry, they go under the shadow of the night of street lights so that the light will glance on it and it look like a brilliant diamond. And you pay that money, and the next morning, that diamond is all stuck on your wrist. So it would have been sprayed on, but under the light, it looks right. So what are we trying to tell you? There are some people who come into the house and throw it out, and it looks right, but beneath it, God is saying, that's not me. He said, they're doing it with their lips. Are we doing okay so far? Then we go to John chapter 6. John chapter 7, I'm sorry. Starting at verse 7 in John chapter 7, it says, on the last day, the great day of the feast, Jesus stood and cried out, saying, if anyone is thirsty, let them come to me and drink. The one who believes in me. Notice what this is saying. The one who believes in me, at verse 30, as the scripture says, from their innermost being will flow rivers of living water. Innermost being, heart, verse 39. And he said this in reference to the Spirit. What are we hearing? There's a heart, there's a mouth. There's a heart, there's a mouth. You may, if you've been around long enough, you've heard people say you can make your mouth say anything with no backup. Or if you really want to make it straight, you know, sometimes they say, don't you write a check with your mouth. You know the rest of the story, don't you? I don't have to say it. It would have to be censored in church. But I knew if we get it started. So this is what he calls it. So you got to say, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to tell us how to worship? No, I'm not. Don't look at me. Up to this point, has this come out of the word, or is this some rhetoric? There's more to come. In 2 Timothy chapter 3, starting at verse 1, he speaks to it even more. So let me ask while we're going there. Do we want to please God, or do we want to do what we want to do? Now, sometimes children will listen to what their parents say until they finish talking. And then they just go and do whatever they're going to do. But they sit there and look so attentive. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And as soon as they're done, they go right on and do what they did. Now, I know I did that. I'm probably the only one in here that did that. They were telling me everything, and I'm just sitting up here waiting. Okay, I didn't have a watch, so I couldn't look to see how long it's going to take. You follow what I'm saying? And when they finish, hey, Tom, where are you, man? You just kind of get up and go and do what you said. So 2 Timothy chapter 3, starting at verse 1. But realize this. This is starting at verse 1 in 2 Timothy 3. That in the last days, difficult times will come. Now watch the headlines coming straight out of Scripture. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, arrogant, slanderers, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, unloving, irreconcilable. They don't want to get along with anybody. Malicious gossips, lack self-control, brutal, haters of good, treacherous, reckless, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God. Now watch this killer line right here, verse 5. Holding to a form of godliness, although they have denied its power. And it says, stay away from them. Those look like headlines right out of the news. Do you believe that we're in the last days? I hear some people say, well, he ain't come yet, so it must not be the last day. Yeah, okay, all right, okay. You just keep on. You just keep on. What you just saw there is in the headlines every day. It's on full display. So what that says is having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. So what I'll take the time now is explain to you what a religious spirit is. A religious spirit versus the Spirit of God. Having a form of godliness is a religious spirit because we can, remember what he said, these people worship me with their lips. You follow me? So that's a spirit, a religious spirit. And then I want you to think about this as you're going along. In the bulletin, it's all these different ways we talking about expressions of worship, and it's in there now to be able to say. And some people would find something wrong with each one of them because it wasn't what they would say, and it's not what they would do. But somebody would find something wrong with all of them. I'm not doing that. I don't like that noise. That's too loud. What they beating on that drum over there for? What they doing that for? What we doing for saxophone in here? What is wrong with him? What is Dr. Bugs doing? Why don't he just play the piano? Leave this other stuff alone. You're going to have real talk, right? Now, so just keep walking there. The reason why I can tell there's a religious spirit, because somehow we come in a church and pretend we aren't that same fella or that gal that walked in the door. You didn't all of a sudden immerse and become different when you walked in the door. You were who you were outside of the door when you walked in the door. So when we have real talk, now I want you to follow this. We have all types of conversations outside of the house and then come into the house and become prude. Oh, bless the Lord. And then now we come in like this. And out there raised in hell. And some of us can't cut it off. We keep raising it in here because we forgot where we were. In other words, real talk is to understand Jesus deals with people raw where they are in order to say that a change needs to take place. The reason why we come together is to be provoked to be better. Provoked to be better. Back over here. So what did I say I'm going to tell you about? Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you remember that. I'm glad you remember that. The first indication of a religious spirit is that you judge people by their appearance. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. There's going to be a passage for each one of these. We judge people because they don't fit how we want them to. Now, here's the reality. Here's the definitive truth. Let me give you all a great example right now. Oh, now, can you see me? Can you see me right now? This outfit that I have on, I just want to have a real talk with y'all. Come on now. Some folk are not okay. Because it's not a suit. And I'm a what? See, say it out loud. I'm a minister, right? I should be in a suit. Come on, folk, talk to me. Don't look at me funny. We're having real talk, right? We say real talk. Some folk don't like how I'm looking. You know, you're going to be honest? Are we going to be honest and real about this? And like, what kind of a pastor is dressing in green shoes and a green outfit and all of that? Mr. Ware, I couldn't even hold it over here. We want to have real talk, right? So then it's best to be open because your heart is on display. But who said, according to the scripture, that I have to have on a suit? Find it in the Word. Now, if I was bow-legged and naked, that's a whole nother story. Yeah. So as I'm just giving you an example by appearance, Some would say, he ain't much of a preacher. I'm using me as an example because I'm right up here in front of you. But you need to know they're doing it about other people too. I'm just saying it's me because you can see me. Some decisions have been made by people. We're not talking here, we're talking about in the church. We look at people. If you go to James chapter 2, it says, be careful as to how you look at people. In Hebrews 12 and 13, it says you might be entertaining angels unaware. Be careful. So that's the first one. Number 2. You find yourself trying to earn God's love and salvation. Miss Pasadena, you were talking about evangelism, and in that regard, some people believe the harder they work in the church that God's going to give them a greater reward. There's nothing to support that. Ephesians 2, 8, and 9 says, it's by grace we have been saved through faith, not of works. So you can wear yourself out doing stuff in the church. It'll get you no closer to God. Does that mean things need to be done? Yes, they do. But that will not get you brownie points with God because the price has already been paid at Calvary. Are we learning something today? Number 3. You try to conform to outward holiness without inward transformation. In Romans chapter 7, verses 7 through 25, and we're giving you this to go back and take a look. Said the good that I would do, I find I'm not doing. I'm trying to do right, and I end up doing wrong. I try to stop doing wrong, and I can't end up doing it, and I get so frustrated then I can't do it. And then Jesus said in Matthew chapter 23, he says, you hypocrites, you clean the outside of the cup, but on the inside you're like dead men's bone. Now this is what Jesus said. Now sometimes folks say, you too hard. Jesus said, you hypocrite. You're like dead men's bone. You can clean the outside of the cup, but you're dead inside. So do we want the word or do we want the word? Because that's what the word says. And just give you some idea. Some of us don't know this too. Think about that. Some folk would never believe that Jesus joned. You don't believe it, do you? I'm going to give you an example and let you, let you find it. You know what he said about Herod? That old fox. Now, what is that? That old fox. Now, you don't have to say fox, but there's some other words that say that old. Because, and this you need to know, when you're not right, things like these will make you uncomfortable because it exposes us. It exposes us. And I thought early on we said we want to be more like God. We want to be more like God. So, number 4. You're always critical on it like that. How can I doing that? You're not this, you're not that. Well, that's a spirit of condemnation. Problem with that is Romans 8:1. Now, therefore, there is no condemnation. You don't walk around pointing the finger. In Revelation chapter 12, it says this: Satan is the accuser of the brethren. Now, how would you like it if I'm coming over to you doing this? You know what? I'm about sick of you. I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about you. But it's like, how does that make you feel when somebody's coming to you like this? And they've already told you when one going this way, the rest of them coming back at you. So it's a spirit. It's a spirit of condemnation coming straight from the pit. It is not God. Number 5. Your closest relationships are based only on what you do in the church. In Luke chapter 10 and chapter 11, you'll see the story about Mary and Martha. And Martha was just talking about, get Mary to do something. Get her to do something. I'm over here cooking, cleaning, sweating, spitting, and everything else. And she in there sitting down talking to you. All she's doing is sitting down, having a conversation with you, of all people, Jesus. She's sitting down here talking to you. And you see how I'm sweating it up in here? Get this woman up. And you know what Jesus said? Go back and take a look at it. He said, Martha, 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 you are so consumed with the wrong thing. Mary has chosen the best. Don't nobody do nothing around here but me. Maybe you ought to stop. What's your motivation? Why are you doing it? Number 6, you do things